Hey there! Tonight, we travel to a world of sharp steel and silent honour. A world of cherry blossoms and blood. We are going to feudal Japan during the turbulent dawn of the Edo period. But you will not be a great lord, a daimyo in his castle. You will not be a shogun, ruling the land from a golden throne. Tonight, you will walk a colder, lonelier path. You will learn what it means to be a warrior with no war to fight, a sword with no master to serve. Tonight, you are a samurai, and you are about to become a Ronin. So settle in. Let the noise of your world fade away. Let the scent of pine and the whisper of the wind take its place. And let us begin. Congratulations. You have just woken up in the year 1615 in the castle of your lord, Ishikawa. You wake not to a sound, but to a quality of light. A soft, grey luminescence filters through the paper of the shoji screen, telling you that dawn is approaching, but has not yet arrived. The air in your small, clean room is cool and smells of tatami straw, and the distant scent of pine from the castle gardens. You are 22 years old. Your name is Kenshin, and you are a samurai. You do not lie in bed. You rise in a single fluid motion. The discipline of a lifetime is etched into your very bones. You slide open the screen and step onto the polished wooden veranda. The castle is still quiet. Below you the gardens are draped in a fine mist, the dark, wet stones of the paths gleaming faintly. The only sound is the gentle, rhythmic dripping of water from a bamboo fountain into a stone basin, a sound designed to measure silence. You are a man of purpose. Your life is a straight line, drawn from duty to honour. You are a sword, and your purpose is to serve your lord, Ishikawa Sadakio. He is a good man, a just lord, who values poetry as much as he values strategy. You have served him since you were a boy, and you would die for him without a moment's hesitation. The thought is not a dramatic one. It is a simple, fundamental truth, like the rising of the sun. You begin your morning as you always do, with zazen, seated meditation. You kneel on a cushion, your back straight, your hands folded in your lap. You regulate your breathing in and out. You do not try to empty your mind. You simply observe your thoughts as they arise and pass, like clouds drifting across the sky. The anxieties of yesterday, the duties of today, you let them go. In this moment, you are just a still point in a quiet world. This is the foundation of your strength, not the power of your muscles, but the stillness of your mind. After meditation, you take up your swords, your daisho, the katana, the long sword, and the wakizashi, the short sword. They are not just weapons, they are your soul. You have spent more hours with them than you have with any living person. The feel of the silk-wrapped hilt, the precise weight and balance of the blade, they are as familiar to you as your own heartbeat. You practice in the courtyard as the sun rises. The forms, the katas, are ancient. Every movement has a meaning, a history. The drawing of the blade, the step, the turn, the cut, it is a dance of lethal grace. Your body moves with a precision born of endless repetition. The sword is an extension of your will. It whispers through the air, a sound like tearing silk. You are not fighting an imaginary enemy. You are perfecting yourself. You are polishing your soul until it has the same flawless, deadly edge as your blade. Breakfast is simple. A bowl of steamed rice, some pickled vegetables, a piece of grilled fish, and green tea. You eat slowly, mindfully. Every grain of rice is the result of a farmer's labour. Every sip of tea is a moment of quiet gratitude. This is part of your discipline, to be aware, to be present. Your duties for the day are straightforward. You are part of Lord Ishikawa's personal guard. You will spend the morning standing watch in the main keep, a silent, motionless guardian. Your presence is a deterrent, a symbol of your lord's power and security. You take your position on the polished wooden floor of the great hall. The room is vast and airy. The painted screens depict scenes of nature. Cranes in flight, a tiger in a bamboo grove. The air smells of cedarwood and incense. You stand for hours, your hand resting lightly on the hilt of your katana. You do not move. You do not fidget. Your gaze is steady. Your mind is calm. You are a part of the castle's architecture, a living statue carved from loyalty. Merchants come and go, bowing low. Messengers arrive with scrolls. Other samurai move with a quiet, purposeful rustle of silk. You see it all, but you react to none of it. Your job is to be the unblinking eye, the steady hand, the silent threat. In the afternoon, you accompany your lord to a tea ceremony. The tea house is a small, simple building in the heart of the garden. You leave your katana at the door, a sign of trust and peace. You keep only your wakizashi. Inside, the room is small. The light is soft. The atmosphere is one of profound tranquility. You kneel in the corner, a silent observer. The tea master, an old man with a face like a wrinkled map, performs the ceremony with a slow, deliberate grace that has been perfected over a lifetime. Every movement is precise, beautiful, and meaningful. The whisking of the powdered green tea, the pouring of the hot water, the presentation of the bowl, is a meditation in motion. Lord Ishikawa accepts the bowl of tea with a bow. He sips it, his eyes closed for a moment. In this room, he is not a warlord. He is a scholar, a man of taste and refinement. He discusses poetry with the tea master. A single verse from a classic text. The meaning of a single word. This, too, is the world of the samurai. Not just the way of the sword, but the way of the brush, the way of tea, the way of beauty. You watch and you listen. You are a guardian, but you're also a student. You are learning what it is you are protecting. Not just a man, not just a castle, but a way of life. A world where strength and beauty can coexist. As evening falls, you are relieved of your duties. You eat your evening meal. You spend some time polishing your swords, the repetitive, careful motion a form of meditation. You unroll your sleeping pallet. You lie down in the quiet darkness of your room. You can hear the distant sound of a flute being played somewhere in the castle. The melody is simple, lonely, and beautiful. You close your eyes. Your life is hard, disciplined, and often lonely. But it is a good life. It is a life of purpose. You are a samurai of the Ishikawa clan. You have a master. You have a home. You have an honor to uphold. You have a place in the world. You drift off to sleep, your mind calm, your heart at peace. You do not know that you will never feel this way again. You wake to the sound of a scream. It is not a sound you have ever heard within these walls. It is a raw, terrified sound that is cut short with a sickening, wet gurgle. For a heartbeat, you think you are dreaming. Then you hear another sound, a heavy, splintering crash. The sound of a reinforced door being broken. You're on your feet in an instant, your daisho in your hands. The discipline of years takes over. There is no thought, only reaction. You slide open your shoji screen. The hallway is dark, but at the far end, you see the flickering, unnatural light of torches. and you hear the sounds of fighting. The sharp clash of steel on steel. A man's shout of defiance, a cry of pain. The castle is under attack. It is impossible. The outer walls are strong. The gates are guarded. But it is happening. Betrayal. It is the only explanation. Someone on the inside has opened a gate. You do not hesitate. You run towards the sounds of battle, your bare feet silent on the cold wooden floor. Your only thought is of your lord. You must get to him. You round a corner and come face to face with them. Two men, dressed in black, their faces hidden by cloth masks. They are not Ishikawa samurai. Their swords are already drawn, already stained. They see you, their eyes widen for a fraction of a second. The fight is over before it has properly begun. It is not a duel. It is a swift, brutal equation. They are two. You are one. But you are Kenshin, and you are defending your home. Your first cut is a blur of motion, a silver arc in the torchlight that takes the first man across the chest. He falls without a sound. The second man is more experienced. He parries your next blow, the force of the impact jarring your arm. But you are already moving, spinning, your wakizashi now in your other hand. You duck under his wild swing, thrust upwards. The short blade finds its mark. He gasps, his sword clattering to the floor. You do not pause to look at them. You continue on, deeper into the castle, towards the Lord's chambers. The scene repeats itself. More men in black. More brief, desperate, bloody struggles in the dark, narrow corridors. The air is thick with the smell of smoke and blood. The castle is burning. You fight your way through the chaos. You're wounded. A shallow cut on your arm. A deep gash on your leg that sends a jolt of fire up your side with every step. But you do not feel the pain. You feel only the cold, clear focus of a man with a single purpose. You finally reach the Great Hall. It is a scene of carnage. The beautiful painted screens are slashed and burning. The polished floor is slick with blood. Your comrades, the samurai you have trained with, eaten with, lived with, lie dead or dying. And in the centre of the room, your lord, Ishikawa Sadakiyo, is fighting for his life. He is surrounded. 6 men, all in black, are pressing in on him. He is a master swordsman, and he is fighting like a cornered tiger. 2 of the attackers already lie at his feet, but he is bleeding. He is tiring. You shout his name, a roar, desperate roar. You charge into the fray, your swords a whirlwind of death. The attackers, surprised by your sudden arrival, turn to face you. You cut one down, then another. You are fighting back to back with your lord, your shoulders almost touching. For a moment, it feels like you can win. You are 2 samurai against 4. The odds are not impossible. Kenshin, your lord says, his voice a strained gasp. They came from inside. Tanaka, he betrayed us. Tanaka, the captain of the guard, the man you trusted, the man you looked up to. The rage that fills you is a white-hot fire, but the moment of hope is fleeting. More attackers pour into the room. You are hopelessly outnumbered. A sword thrust gets past your guard, and you feel a searing pain in your side. You stumble, but you do not fall. Then you see him. A man, not dressed in black, but in the formal silk of a high-ranking samurai. Tanaka. He stands at the edge of the fight, his face a cold, impassive mask. He holds a short spear. He is watching, waiting. Lord Ishikawa sees him too. His face contorts with a mixture of pain and disbelief. "Tanaka!" he shouts. "Traitor!" He takes a step towards him, and in that moment, in that single fatal lapse of concentration, one of the men in black finds an opening. A sword thrust, quick and vicious. It slides between Lord Ishikawa's ribs. He gasps, a look of shocked surprise on his face. His sword falls from his hand. He sinks to his knees. A terrible silence falls over the room. The men in black step back. You are left alone, standing over your dying lord. You want to rush to his side, but your body will not obey. You can only watch. Tanaka walks forward slowly. He looks down at Lord Ishikawa, his expression unreadable. "The age of poets is over, my lord," he says, his voice cold and devoid of emotion. "The shogun has promised me your lands. It is the way of the world." He raises his spear. You scream, a wordless sound of pure anguish and fury. You lunge forward, but it is too late. The spearhead plunges down. The world seems to slow down. You see the life fade from your lord's eyes. You see Tanaka pull the spear free. You see the men in black begin to advance on you. You are alone. Your lord is dead. Your home is burning. Your world has ended. Something inside you breaks. The cold, disciplined mind of the samurai shatters. And what is left is something primal. Something wild. You fight. Not with skill, not with grace, but with a berserker's fury. You are no longer defending anything. You are just a vessel of grief and rage. You cut and you slash. You feel blades bite into your flesh, but you do not care. You take down one more of them, and then another. They fall back from you, their eyes wide with fear. They have never seen a man fight like this. A man who has already died and has nothing left to lose. You see an opening. A burning shoji screen has collapsed, creating a gap leading to the gardens. You do not think, you run. You leap through the flames, your clothes catching fire. You land on the soft earth of the garden, rolling to extinguish the flames. You get to your feet and you run. You run without looking back. Behind you, you can hear the shouts of your enemies. You can hear the roar of the fire as it consumes your home. You can hear the sound of your world turning to ash. You run until your legs give out, until the gash in your side makes every breath a torment. You collapse at the edge of the forest that borders the castle grounds. You lie there gasping, your body broken, your heart shattered. You have failed. Your lord is dead. Your comrades are dead. Your home is gone. You are a samurai with no master to serve. You are a man with no purpose. You are a wave without an ocean. You are a Ronin. You lie there for a long time, drifting in and out of consciousness. The smoke from the burning castle fills the sky, blotting out the moon and the stars. The world is dark and silent. You have lost everything. As the first pale light of dawn touches the sky, you stir. The pain is a living thing, a fire that consumes you from within. But you force yourself to move. You crawl deeper into the forest, away from the path, away from the world of men. You find a small hidden stream, and you drink, the cold water a shock to your system. You wash your wounds as best you can, tearing strips from your ruined silk kimono to bind them. You have 2 swords, a handful of memories, and a grief so vast it feels like it has replaced your soul. You have no home. You have no name. The man you were, Kenshin, died last night in the flames of Ishikawa Castle. The ghost that is left has only one thing to do: walk. You get to your feet, using a tree branch for support. You take one step, then another. You begin to walk. Your destination unknown. Your future a blank, terrifying void. The path you are on is no longer straight. It is a winding, uncertain road that leads into the wilderness. You are no longer a sword, polished and purposeful. You are a broken blade cast into the world. Your journey has just begun, and you have a terrible feeling that it will be a long one. You're alone for the first time in your life, and the silence is deafening. The next 6 months are a blur of pain, hunger, and a profound, hollow emptiness. You walk. That is all you do. You follow the nameless paths that wind through the mountains and forests of feudal Japan. You are a ghost, a shadow drifting through a world that no longer has a place for you. At first, the pain from your wounds is your only companion. The gash in your side becomes infected, a hot, angry fire that drains your strength and fills you with a feverish haze. You do not know how you survive. You remember collapsing in a forest, convinced you are about to die. You remember waking to find a cool, wet cloth on your forehead. A woman, an old herbalist who lived alone in the woods, found you. She did not ask your name. She saw only a broken man in need of mending. She cleaned your wounds with bitter-smelling concoctions and fed you a thin, nourishing broth. She spoke a little, but her silence was a comfort. You stayed with her for a week, a ghost in her small, quiet hut, until the fever broke and the fire in your side subsided to a dull ache. When you were strong enough to walk, you bowed to her, your gratitude too deep for words. She simply nodded and gave you a small bundle of dried herbs. "For the pain," she whispered. It was the kindest anyone had been to you since your world ended. You continue your journey. You learn the hard lessons of the road. You learn to read the weather in the clouds, to find shelter in abandoned shrines or beneath the overhang of a cliff. You learn to forage for edible roots and berries, your stomach a constant aching reminder of your new station in life. You, who once ate the finest rice from lacquered bowls, now grubbing the dirt for sustenance like a wild animal. The hunger is a constant companion. It gnaws at you, sharpening your senses, but dulling your mind. It is a humbling, humiliating experience. There are days when you stand at the edge of a village, watching the farmers in their fields, the smell of cooking fires drifting on the wind, and the emptiness in your belly becomes a physical pain so intense it brings tears to your eyes. You learn to be invisible. You're a samurai, and your daisho, the 2 swords at your side, mark you as such. But you're a samurai with no clan colours, no insignia, no master. You are a Ronin, and in this new peaceful age of the Tokugawa shogunate, a Ronin is a problem. You are a loose thread in the carefully woven tapestry of society. You are a reminder of a violent past that the new rulers are trying to forget. When you pass through villages, the people fall silent. They watch you with a mixture of fear and suspicion. The farmers stop their work. The women pull their children close. The local magistrate might send a few ashigaru, peasant soldiers armed with spears, to escort you through their territory, their nervousness a palpable thing. They do not see a man. They see a potential threat, a stray dog that might be rabid. You learn to avoid the towns. You travel on the lesser-known paths. You sleep in the wilderness. Your only companions are the wind, the trees, and the ghosts of your past. At night, you are haunted. You close your eyes, and you are back in the burning castle. You see your lord's face, the look of shocked betrayal in his eyes. You hear the screams of your comrades. You feel the heat of the flames on your skin. You wake up with a cry caught in your throat, your hand clutching the hilt of your katana, your heart pounding. Sleep is not a refuge. It is a trial. Your swords, once your pride, are now your burden. They are a symbol of a life that is gone. they are also your only means of survival. You encounter bandits on a lonely mountain pass. They are not warriors. They are desperate, hungry men like you. They see your swords and they see a prize. They see a lone, wounded traveller, and they see an easy target. The fight is ugly and short. There is no honour in it. You do not fight to defend your lord. You fight to defend the small, miserable spark of your own life. You leave them lying in the mud, and you walk away, the taste of ash in your mouth. Your skill with the blade, once a source of pride, is now just another tool for survival. As crude and necessary as foraging for roots, winter comes. The world turns white and silent. The cold is a new kind of enemy. It is relentless, insidious. It seeps into your bones and drains the warmth from you. Your thin, patched kimono is a poor defence against the biting wind. You find shelter in a long-abandoned temple in the mountains. The roof has holes in it, and the wind howls through the empty halls. But it is a shelter. You spend the winter there, a hermit in a world of snow. You learn to set snares for rabbits, your only source of fresh meat. You spend your days meditating, trying to find the still point in the storm of your grief. But your mind is a turbulent sea. The discipline of the samurai feels like a distant memory, a hollow echo. Who are you meditating for? What are you polishing your soul for? You are haunted by the concept of honour, Bushido, the way of the warrior. It was the code you lived by. It dictated every aspect of your life. But what does honour mean for a man who has lost everything? For a samurai who failed to protect his lord? The shame is a poison, a slow, cold venom that is more deadly than any blade. There are times when you look at your wakizashi, the short sword. You think of seppuku, the ritual suicide that is the final, ultimate expression of the samurai's honour. To die by your own hand, to wash away the stain of your failure with your own blood. It is a tempting thought, a clean, honourable end to a messy, dishonourable life. But you do not do it. Some instinct, some stubborn, irrational flicker of life hold you back. Perhaps it is cowardice. Perhaps it is a different kind of courage. You do not know. You only know that you are still breathing. As the snows of winter begin to melt and the first green shoots of spring appear, you leave the temple. You are thinner, harder, colder. The boy who practiced his katas in the sunlit courtyard of Ishikawa Castle is gone forever. In his place is a man with old eyes and a quiet, dangerous stillness. You continue to walk. You're no longer just fleeing your past. You're searching for something, a reason, a purpose, a path. You do not know what it is, but you know that you will not find it by standing still. The road you travel is long and hard. It is a road of hunger, of loneliness, of shame, but it is your road. And for now, that is enough. You are a Ronin, a wave man, a masterless wanderer, and the long road is your new master. Spring has breathed a fragile life back into the world. The cherry blossoms bloom and fall, a beautiful, fleeting reminder of the impermanence of all things. You have been walking for nearly a year. The raw wound of your past has become a dull, permanent ache, a part of you. Like the swords at your side, you have learned the rhythms of the road, the art of survival. But you have not yet found what you are looking for. Your journey brings you to a small, dusty town at the intersection of two trade routes. It is a place of transients, merchants, pilgrims, and men like you, who are just passing through. The town is not prosperous. The houses are small, the fields are meagre. There is an air of quiet resignation, a sense of a people who have learned not to expect too much from life. You need to earn some money. Your sandals are falling apart. Your kimono is little more than rags. You have not had a proper meal in weeks. You go to the local magistrate's office, a small, unremarkable building. You offer your services. You are a samurai. You can guard a caravan, protect a shipment, teach swordsmanship. The magistrate, a fat, balding man with small, shrewd eyes, looks you over. He sees not a noble warrior, but a desperate, hungry man. He smiles a thin, unpleasant smile. "A Ronin," he says, the word an insult. "We have no need for your kind here. We are a peaceful town." You turn to leave, your hand clenching on the hilt of your katana. The shame is a familiar, bitter taste. But as you reach the door, he calls you back. "However," he says, his voice now a conspiratorial whisper, "there is a private matter. A wealthy rice merchant in this town, a man named Jinbei, has been causing some trouble. He hoards rice, he drives up prices, he is an inconvenience. A man of your skills could be very useful." He lets the unspoken offer hang in the air. He is asking you to be an assassin. The rage that fills you is cold and sharp. You are a samurai. You live by the code of Bushido. You do not kill for money. You kill to protect your lord, to uphold your honour. You have no lord, but you still have your honour. You look the magistrate in the eye. "I am a samurai," you say, your voice low and steady. "Not a hired killer." You walk out, leaving him sputtering in your wake. You spend the next few days in the town, looking for honest work. But there is none. The farmers do not need a swordsman to help them plant their fields. The merchants already have their own guards. You are an anachronism, a relic of a bygone era. You repair a farmer's fence in exchange for a bowl of rice. You chop wood for an innkeeper in exchange for a place to sleep in his stable. It is during this time that you begin to see the truth of the town. The magistrate was lying. This is not a peaceful town. There is a deep, festering sickness here. The rice merchant Jinbei is more than just an inconvenience. He is a tyrant. He controls the town's food supply. He has a gang of hired thugs, brutish men who are not samurai, but simply bullies with swords. They enforce his will. They collect his exorbitant debts. They terrorize the townspeople. You see it with your own eyes. You see Jinbei's men overturn a fruit seller's cart because she cannot pay his protection fee. You see them beat a young farmer who dares to argue with them. You see the fear in the eyes of the townspeople. They are trapped. The magistrate, you realise, is in Jinbei's pocket. He is a part of the sickness, not the cure. This is not your fight. You are a traveller. You are just passing through. You have your own ghosts to battle. You tell yourself this every day. And every day it becomes harder to believe. One evening, you're sitting in a small, cheap noodle shop, nursing a bowl of fin broth. A young woman enters. She is the daughter of the noodle shop owner. Her name is Hana. She has a quiet, gentle strength that reminds you of the old herbalist in the mountains. She brings you a small bowl of rice, a gift from her father. "You are a samurai," she says, her voice a soft question. You just nod. "My father says you are a man of honour," she continues. "He saw what you said to the magistrate." You look away, the word honour, a painful reminder of your failure. "This town needs a man of honour," she says, her voice barely a whisper. She tells you about her younger brother. He was a farmer. He borrowed money from Jinbei to buy seeds. The harvest was poor. He could not repay the debt. Jinbei's men came. They beat him. They broke his arm. Now he cannot work his fields. They will starve. She looks at you, her eyes filled with a desperate, pleading hope. "Will you help us?" she asks. This is the moment, the crossroads, the choice. Your mind screams at you to walk away. This is not your town. These are not your people. You are a Ronin. Your only duty is to yourself, to your own survival. To interfere is to invite disaster. Jinbei has many men. The magistrate is on his side. You are one man, a wounded, broken man. To fight is to die. But your heart says something different. You look at this young woman's face, and you see the faces of the innocent people of Ishikawa Castle, the people you failed to protect. You look at your swords, and you remember the reason you first took them up. Not just to serve your lord, but to protect the weak, to uphold justice, is the core of Bushido. What is honour if it is not used? What is a sword if it remains in its sheath while the innocent suffer? You are a samurai. You may have no master, but you still have your code. You look at Hana, and for the first time in a year, you feel something other than grief or shame or hunger. You feel a flicker of the man you once were. You feel a sense of purpose. I will help you, you say. The words feel strange in your mouth, but they feel right. The decision is made. You're no longer just a traveller. You are a warrior once more. You do not know if you are walking towards your redemption or your death. You only know that you are, for the first time in a very long time, walking on the right path. You do not challenge Jinbei in the open. That would be foolish. It would be the kind of grand, honourable, and ultimately fatal gesture a young, proud samurai would make. You're not that man anymore. The road has taught you a different kind of wisdom. The wisdom of the wolf, not the lion. You spend the next few days observing. You're a ghost in the town. You watch Jinbei's men. You learn their routines, their habits. You see who is a true believer and who is just a frightened bully. You map out Jinbei's mansion, a large, fortified house at the edge of town. You note the number of guards, the patrol routes, the weak points in the walls. You speak with Hana's father. He is a good man, respected in the town. Through him you find others who are willing to fight, not samurai, but farmers, craftsmen, merchants, men who have been pushed too far. They are not warriors, but they have a courage born of desperation. You do not train them to be soldiers. You do not have the time. You teach them something more useful. You teach them how to be a nuisance. You organize them into a small secret resistance. They do not fight Jinbei's men in the open. They fight him in the shadows. A shipment of his rice mysteriously goes missing. A cart carrying his goods accidentally breaks an axle, blocking a key road. Rumours are spread. Whispers of a demon. A ghost samurai who has come to punish the wicked. The town begins to change. The fear that once paralysed the people is slowly replaced by a fragile, flickering hope. Jinbei's men become nervous, jumpy. They start seeing shadows where there are none. You are the heart of this shadow war. You move at night. You are the ghost in the rumours. You do not kill. Not yet. You disarm. You humiliate. You leave Jinbei's thugs tied up in a warehouse, or hanging upside down from a tree, their sword broken at their feet. You leave a single stark message, a piece of paper with a single word written on it. Justice. Jinbei becomes furious, paranoid. He doubles the guards. He locks himself in his mansion. He knows that he is being hunted. The time has come for the final move. You cannot wage a shadow war forever. You must cut off the head of the snake. You plan the assault for the night of the new moon, the darkest night. You will not attack the front gate. You will go over the wall, a silent, unseen predator. Your small army of farmers and craftsmen will create a diversion at the main gate, a loud, chaotic distraction. The night is black and starless. You move through the shadows, your body clad in dark, simple cloth, your face smeared with mud. You're no longer a samurai in silk. You're an instrument of the night. You reach the wall of Jinbei's mansion. It is high, but not impossible. You use a grappling hook and a rope, a trick you learnt from a thief you once shared a stable with. You go over the wall, landing as silently as a cat in the garden below. The garden is dark and quiet. You can hear the shouts and the clatter of weapons from the front of the mansion. The diversion has begun. You move quickly, a shadow among shadows, towards the main house. You enter through a servant's door you had noted was poorly guarded. The inside of the house is a labyrinth of dark corridors and paper screens. You move with a lethal, practiced grace. A guard rounds a corner. You're on him before he can even draw his sword. A single, precise blow to the back of the neck. He falls without a sound. You continue on, deeper into the house, towards Jinbei's chambers. You encounter 2 more guards. The fight is over in a matter of seconds. They are thugs, not warriors. Their skill is in bullying the weak, not in facing a trained samurai. You reach the door to Jinbei's room. It is barred from the inside. You do not try to break it down. You take a moment. You regulate your breathing. You listen. You can hear the sound of a man's heavy, frightened breathing from within. You do not kick the door. You slice it. With a series of quick, precise cuts, you carve a man-sized opening in the paper and wood of the shoji screen. You step through the opening into the room. Jinbei is there. He is not the proud, arrogant merchant you have seen in the town. He is a fat, terrified man in a silk nightgown. He holds a sword, but he holds it awkwardly, like a man who has never had to use it. The ghost samurai, he whispers, his eyes wide with terror. I am not a ghost, you say, your voice a low, cold whisper. I am the man you have wronged. He lunges at you, a wild, clumsy swing. You parry it easily, the force of his blow almost making him lose his balance. You could kill him in a heartbeat, but you do not. You disarm him with a quick twist of your blade. His sword clatters to the floor. He is left defenceless, pathetic. He falls to his knees, his face a mask of blubbering terror. Please, he begs, I will give you anything. Money, rice, women. Just spare my life. You look down at him, and you feel nothing. Not pity, not anger, not satisfaction. Just a cold, weary emptiness. You have seen this man's true face, the face of a coward and a bully. You do not kill him. Killing him would be too easy. It would be an end. And this man does not deserve an end. He deserves justice. You bind his hands with the sash from his own expensive kimono. You lead him out of his mansion, a prisoner in his own home. At the front gate, your small army of farmers has successfully held off his guards, who are now throwing down their weapons and fleeing. You lead Jinbei to the centre of the town. The townspeople have gathered, their faces a mixture of fear and a dawning, incredulous hope. You present him to them. This man is yours, you say. He has wronged you. He has stolen from you. He has terrorized you. Now he will answer to you. You turn and you walk away. Your work here is done. You do not stay to see what justice the townspeople exact upon Jinbei. You do not stay for their thanks, for their offers of food and shelter. Before the sun rises, you are gone. You slip out of the town as silently as you entered it, a ghost returning to the mists. You're back on the road, the long, lonely road. but something is different. The emptiness inside you is still there, but it is not as vast, not as cold. It is now touched with a faint, unfamiliar warmth, the warmth of a purpose fulfilled. You did not restore your honour. You did not reclaim your past, but you did something. You stood for something. You used your sword not for a lord, not for money, but for justice. For the first time since the fall of Ishikawa Castle, you feel a flicker of peace. But you know that this peace is temporary. You cannot stay. The magistrate will not forget what you have done. The story of the ghost samurai of the crossroads town will spread. It will attract attention. The kind of attention a man like you cannot afford. And so you walk. You continue your journey, a perpetual wanderer on the face of Japan. You are still a Ronin, a man with no master, no home. But you are no longer just a broken blade. You are a sword that has been reforged in the fires of a quiet personal war. You realise as you walk that this is your new path, your new purpose. You are a ghost, a shadow, a protector of the forgotten, the voiceless, the oppressed. You will never have a home. You will never have a name. You will never have the peace of a normal life. But you will have your code. You will have your sword. And you will have the long road. Your life becomes a series of quiet, unrecorded battles. You defend a village from bandits. You expose a corrupt official. You protect a lonely temple from desecration. You do not ask for thanks. You do not take a reward. You simply appear when you are needed, and you vanish when your work is done. You become a legend, a myth. The story of the ghost samurai is whispered in taverns and around campfires. They say he moves like the wind. They say his sword is a flicker of moonlight. They say he cannot be killed. You're none of those things. You're just a man with a heavy heart and a tired body. You're still haunted by your past. You still wake up at night with the smell of smoke in your nostrils. You're still lonely. Years pass. Your hair becomes streaked with grey. Your face becomes a map of the roads you've travelled, the hardships you have endured. Your body is a tapestry of scars, each one a memory of a fight for survival, for justice. One day you find yourself back in the lands of your old master, Ishikawa. You stand on a hill overlooking the place where the castle once stood. There is nothing left, just a few crumbling stone foundations, overgrown with grass and wildflowers. Nature has reclaimed what man destroyed. You stand there for a long time, the wind whispering through the pines. You are an old man now. Your journey is nearing its end. You have not found redemption. You have not found peace. But you have found something else. You have found a way to live with your ghosts. You have found a way to honour your past. Not by trying to reclaim it, but by living a life worthy of the samurai you once were. You turn and you walk away from the ruins of your past. You do not know where you're going. It does not matter. The road is still there. And as long as there is a road, you will walk it. You are Kenshin. You are a Ronin. A ghost. A legend. A man who lost everything, and in doing so found himself. Your story will never be written down. It will never be sung by bards, but it will be remembered. It will be remembered in the quiet gratitude of the people you have saved. It will be remembered in the fear of the wicked who hear your name whispered in the shadows. And perhaps that is the only kind of immortality that truly matters. You find a small, abandoned shrine by the side of the road as dusk falls. You sit on the worn wooden steps. You are old, you are tired. The pain from your old wounds is a constant companion. You close your eyes. You do not know if you will wake up in the morning. And for the first time in a very long time, you are not afraid. You have lived your life by the sword. You have walked the long, lonely road. You have kept your code. You have honoured your ghosts. You have done enough. You are a Ronin, a wave without an ocean. And tonight, you're finally coming home to rest. As you drift off to sleep, under a sky full of stars, the world is quiet. The wind whispers through the trees, a gentle, soothing sound. Your long journey is over, and there is peace in the silence. Sleep now, warrior. Sleep well.